of the people, 90.3 FM, the number one station that gives your voice all over the world. My name is Chioma Innocent, and the program you're now tuned into is called The Recap. Yes, this holds every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. The Recap is that program where we discuss and analyze issues that made major headlines during the week. And of course, I'm never alone in the studio. I do have my analyst sitting across from me. I will be introducing him to you very shortly. Without further ado, let's get right into it. And of course, I'll be giving you a brief rundown of the topics which we'll be discussing today. If you're just joining us, not to worry, we haven't missed a thing. The recap has just begun. Welcome. All right, on the topics we'll be discussing on the recap today, we have as topic number one, nationwide protest. Your silence is worrisome. It is time to address Nigerians. PDP Chief President. And number two, we have women groups demand apology from APC for scamming over 400 women in Abuja. This is really funny. It's not really funny, but there is also a funny side to it. But yes, that'll be a second topic for today. We'll also be looking at federal government to begin sale of 50 kg rice for 40,000 naira. And from there, we'll be looking at security agencies uncovering senators sponsoring hashtag End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest. This is according to the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike. And finally, Governor Sanwo-Olu condemns sponsors of hashtag Igbo must go protest. Those are topics we'll be discussing today. If you're just joining us, not to worry, you haven't missed a thing. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell an enemy, to tell their landlord, to tell the house help that the recap has just begun. Thank you for joining us. You are highly welcome. All right, I do have my analyst sitting right across from me in the studios. You know him, some of you love him, and some of you don't. Someone has asked me, why do you like saying that? That's because it's the truth. Anyway, Mr. Peter Anasike is right here in the studios, and he'll be analyzing these issues that made major headlines during the week with me right here on the recap. In case you don't know it, Mr. Peter Anasike is a philosopher, an experienced journalist of many years. He's also a business development executive and a best-selling author. He is the author of Dangote's 10 Commandments and Money. Now, this book was rated as one of the best development books in the world by the prestigious Wall Street Journal. Yes, and of course, here in Nigeria, it was adopted as a workbook for grooming entrepreneurs by the Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria. That is SMEDAN. So, you're highly welcome, Mr. Peter Anasike. Happy weekend to you.
I'm here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So, there's quite a bit to discuss, and let's just dive into it. As much as we have about 2 hours, it is almost never enough to discuss everything we need to discuss. I need you to remember that at exactly 5 p.m., the phone lines will be open so that you can call in and share your thoughts, your suggestions, your ideas, and your opinions on the different topics which we'll be discussing today with us, right? And also the WhatsApp line will be open at exactly 5 p.m. Of course, many of you send your messages before then, and that's okay, but I will start taking those messages and those calls at the 5 p.m. mark. Yes. That being said, nationwide protest, your silence is worrisome. It is time to address Nigerians. This is PDP telling the president. The PDP has expressed deep concern over President Bola Tinubu's silence amid the ongoing nationwide protests against economic hardship and worsening hunger in the country. The PDP said it finds it troubling that the president has remained silent, even as Nigerians have taken to the streets demanding good governance, protection, security, and welfare, which are fundamental responsibilities of the government. The PDP is warning that the president's silence is sending a dangerous signal to the that the APC is indifferent to citizens' rights and the nation-generating state. Now, if you are a Nigerian, you cannot deny that there has been tension in the land for the past few weeks, and the August 1 hashtag End Bad Government protest has entered day 3. Thankfully, at least in Lagos, there have been many more reports of any kind of violence at all, and the protesters and security agencies have not had any place. And personally, I'm that so if people are scared, the PDP is in a position party. They're coming out and telling the president, your silence at this time is worrying. And because they is also the opposition, or because it's actually time for the president to address the nation. I want to remind you to keep your comments civil, keep it polite, and yes, just keep the ethics.
Well, I'm not in the opposition, but even before that 1st of August, I was calling on the president to address before that 1st of August, President Bola should have addressed the nation.
Seeing as the tension had already been building and people were already planning.
And if he had done it, it would have helped to quieten this thing. Some time ago, the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, was away in a state visit, and a 17-year-old boy was stabbed in Paris. The president has to cancel his state visit and rush back to his country because of a 17-year-old boy was stabbed. But 17 people has been killed in a protest, and the president has remained adamant. So it is very, very worrisome. It is very, very worrisome that the nation is boiling all across, and the president remained quiet, or as if he doesn't know or he doesn't care what is happening. But I want to tell Nigerians the reason why what is happening is happening.
What's the reason?
The present economic hardship in the country was caused by the IMF World Bank sanctioned policies, which the administration of Mohamed Bola Tinubu unfortunately adopted. That's the cause of this economic hardship. They included removal of petrol and electricity subsidy and the floating of the naira.
Permit me to butt in there. Does it mean that if the IMF had not suggested these policies, the presidency wouldn't have adopted it?
No, he wouldn't have done it. These are not his own policies. These are IMF policies.
But are you sure though? Because even from Jonathan's time, he wanted to remove fuel subsidy.
It didn't start from Tinubu. This thing starts from the 80s. This thing started from the 80s. Structural Adjustment Program, SAP, which Ibrahim Babangida adopted, was IMF policy, not his own.
You're saying since the 80s, the IMF and the World Bank has been, would I use the word interfering or intervening in Nigeria's economic policies?
They had been running the governments of the developing countries, not interfering, running the governments of the third world and developing countries.
You know, every time we have this conversation, I ask, right, the leaders of these countries, they not know what is best for their people to now adopt policies which in the long run has proven to make the lives of the people, rather, instead of easier, make it more difficult.
When you cannot think, somebody has to think for you. So IMF thinks for the leaders of the countries that have nothing upstairs. It is not only in Nigeria, it's happening in South America, in the Pacific, in Asia, all over Africa. It is happening. So what is happening now is an IMF-induced policies which the president adopted. And as a student of history, I know that everywhere in the world, from South America to Asia to Africa, no country has ever worked with IMF policies. No country has ever survived with IMF policies because it is inimical to the growth of any country. It is inimical to the growth of any country. In the 80s, the IMF pushed for structural adjustment programs. And these structural adjustment programs include, one, the removal of subsidies, the valuation of the naira, and abandonment of the welfare of the people.
You know, even to the layman, when you talk about devaluation, what it spells is a reduction in the value of the currency.
In the currency.
Right? And so if a leader or the leaders of a country know that devaluation of their currency will lead to hardship for the people, then why go along with such a policy?
These are the conditions for you to access World Bank loan.
Which you would say many developing countries need or want.
Need. So these are the conditions to access World Bank loan. One, you have to remove subsidies. You have to devalue your currency. You have to abandon the welfare program of the masses, because IMF, World Bank is an elitist organization. It doesn't care about the conditions of poor people.
So you're saying that it intentionally makes governments suffer their people so that their own policies can be entrenched or can be, implemented in these countries?
Money doesn't come free. Money comes with conditions. So this is IMF conditions, which countries adopt. And the countries that adopt it must suffer. And that's one of the reasons there were a lot of queues in a lot of countries in Africa, because their countries were struggling. That's one of the reasons for a lot of queues in Africa, including Nigeria in the 80s. Babangida was the person that first of all put us into this by adopting that structural adjustment program, just to secure IMF loan. So since then up to today, Nigeria has not gotten out of it. So when leaders fail to think, IMF begin to think for them, and for them to begin to think for you, you have to accept their conditions, which is what I have enumerated for you, which are anti-people conditions: removing subsidy, devaluing your currency, and abandoning the welfare programs of your people. And this money doesn't come free. So that is what Tinubu adopted that is affecting us at this point in time. When Jonathan wanted to remove subsidy in 2012, Tinubu protested. Tinubu said no, that it shouldn't be automatic, that it should be removed in batches. But his own, he removed it automatically and without thinking of the consequences. So that's the reason why what is happening in the country now is happening. All the countries that have developed in the world did not make use of IMF policies. They didn't make use of World Bank loans because it doesn't come in the interest of the people. So that is the reason why what is happening now is happening. And okay.
But we're talking about the president's silence in the face of everything that is happening and how worrisome it is, with the opposition PDP calling on the president to say something right now. Two questions: do you expect him to come out and actually address the nation rather than going through his ministers? And also secondly, what will his addressing the nation solve at this critical moment? Protests have entered day 3. At least 20 deaths have been recorded.
Well, Nigerians voted for the president, not the ministers, not his aides. The president is the head of the country. The president is the father of the country, and the citizens are his children. So he's supposed to have come more than a week ago to address this issue as a concerned leader of a people. As a concerned leader of a people, he should have come out to address this situation. But I know that one, he will be feeling a kind of slighted that all his measures did not work.
Slighted that his measures did not work. What measures are you talking about?
Because one, the measures is this: those under him are not good students of history. Nigerians are evolving. Nigerians are evolving, but the presidency has not understood this. So that was why he was calling on the traditional rulers, the civil societies, and others to go and address the people. So that measure failed. So the president should be set aback. Why didn't these people able to persuade the youths not to protest?
I mean, what we saw in the field, at least beginning from Thursday, is not just youths who are out there right now.
Well, it is not the youth, it is the hungry masses. But president must have felt by holding those meetings with those governors, with those traditional rulers, with the leaders of the civil societies, that they should have been able to persuade the organizers of these protests not to protest. So, but all those measures failed. And the reason is simply because they were not studying the society. They were not studying the society. They were not noticing that the society is shifting from what it used to be. That is the main reason why this protest was able, that is holding. And this is known as decentering. That is what is happening in the country at the moment. And for me, it is a very good thing in the country. And decentering simply means challenging and moving away from the traditional centers of authority. That is what decentering means. Challenging or moving away from the traditional authority of the people. In the North, Ondamas are seen as the moral compass, as both religious and the political guide of the people. It is them that determines who wins election in the North. But so the president must have felt that he can use this Ondamas
to reach out to the people.
To reach out to the people.
But you think the people will prefer to hear from that president, the one that they voted for, rather than traditional leaders who were maybe appointed or ascended the throne by way of monarchical representation?
What the president has failed to understand is that these Ondamas are no more with the social media and with the current enlightenment in the society. The Ondamas are no more as powerful as they used to be. And the northern youth made a statement by going to Buhari's house to protest. That's to show that northern society is changing. That what was obtainable 20 years ago is not there anymore. That what was obtainable 10 years ago is not there anymore. That there are no more puppets for anybody, that they can now think on their own. That's one takeaway that everybody can understand from this protest.
Would you say the president or the ruling party or the president and his ministers and people who surround him understand that right now?
I said they were not good students of history. They were not good students of history. If they had known, if they were good students of history, they would have engaged the youth directly instead of going through a second party. They should have engaged the youths one-on-one. But they felt that the traditional rulers still have control over the youths. They feel that religious leaders still have control over the youth. What they did not understand that thing has shifted. We are no more at that spot anymore. And for now, I can tell you that in the near future, Merit will be winning elections in the North, which is very good for everybody in the country. It will no longer matter whether you are a Christian or a Muslim. Once you can send a message that can resonate with the masses, you are sure to win your election.
Oh.
So the Onamas will no more be deciding who wins election in the North. Because there's a collapse of cultural, political, and social power of the northern Nigerian Muslims. They are no more as powerful as they used to be. The youth no longer rely on them as their moral compass and political guidance. Those ages are over. So the society is opening up for the better. So government officials should start dealing directly with the masses instead of with the traditional rulers or with the religious leaders.
All right, then you're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent. I'm your host, and across the table I have Mr. Peter Anosike, and he's of course giving the analysis right here on the recap. In case you don't know, the recap is that program where we discuss and analyze issues that made major headlines during the week. I was just talking about the PDP saying that President Tinubu's silence is worrisome at this time when he should be addressing Nigerians. Let's move on to another issue. Women group demands apology from APC for scamming over 400 women in Abuja. Now, a coalition of women groups under the umbrella of Nigerian Young Women, NYW, has accused a wife of late Shivemkwe Abiola, Mrs. Tinu A. Abiola, and other leaders of the ruling APC of deceiving over 400 women with a promise of palliative rights, only to take pictures of them in Abuja with "Say No to Protest" banners. Now, I recall just before, I think it was on the protest eve on July 30th, there were pictures going viral on social media of women holding banners which said "Say No to Protest," and most of all those banners had the names of different states, but they were all converged in one place in Abuja. Now, the people who were gathered there, or rather the group which brought these women together, called the Nigerian Young Women, have come out to say that was not what they were there for, that they did not come there to say no to protest, that they actually came there to receive palliative rights that was promised to them. In a statement issued by the president of the group, Ambassador Ojineme Enakeme, she said that Mrs. Abiola and her chief mobilizer, one Comfort Shekwoyan of the Women for Peace, Security and Social Initiative, had deceived several women, up to 400 women, NGO groups and organizations, into mobilizing 50 women each to the Eagle Square in Abuja under the pretense that they were to be given 50 kg bags of rice each, only for the women, which were numbering over 400 by the way, to be given banners with "Say No to Protest" in different states. The president of the group further said they took pictures of them and then left them stranded even without transport fare, and she actually came out to quiet about this and then saying they did not receive the palliatives they were supposed to receive, and that was not what they came out for. In fact, at the end of the day, they said they will continue to stand together and fight for a better Nigeria. She also called on Nigerians to join the women's group in the nationwide protest against corruption, bad governance and exploitation, saying together we can build a better future for ourselves and generations to come, and ended the statement with #end bad governance in Nigeria. So we've seen a lot of people actually coming out to say no to protest. Even before the protest started, we saw groups protesting in different states, protesting to say no to the protest that was to begin. And even when the protest began at protest ground, you will also see different groups with that "Say No to Protest." And from many indications, from many interviews with these people, many of them talk about how they were paid to be there. And we've also seen clips, many people found it funny and some did not find it funny, of someone who came out to say no to protest and then actually ended up saying yes to protest by lamenting about the hunger in the land. This person had to be slapped on live TV and say, "Is that what we asked you to say?" With something like this, doesn't this speak of desperation when you gather women together and promise them rights, say we want to give you a palliative, only for you to give them placards to hold and then take pictures, and now they're alleging that you left them stranded even without transport fare? Do you believe that these women did not actually know that that's what they were going there for?
I believe. Because...
But when they got there, they gave them banners and they held it.
After the palliative should come now, because
for the fact that this person wrote this lengthy statement, that she can read. If she knows that she does not see, supported the protest, why would they give you a say no to protest banner and you hold it and take pictures and then you don't get your palliatives and you're coming out to cry out to Nigerians? If they say they don't know that, they know that that's not what they were there for, but yet they collected the banners and they allowed themselves to be taking pictures with the banners.
A hungry man can do anything. But my concern is the APC government has brought the worst in women. The APC government has brought the worst in men. Remember the bishops. Remember the bishops that we later saw that some of them were even park drivers. Now, the person that brought them there must have collected the money from the government, or must have received the one promise or the other, and he now wants to take advantage of the women, just to show how relevant, how supportive she is to the government in power. Because if you read the Prince by Machiavelli, written that's over 700 years ago, he said that a deceiver must find people to deceive. That's the way the society is wired. That's why people still fall prey to 419. So you can imagine what somebody who calls herself a mother can think to bring her fellow women, use them for her own political advantage, abandon them without even giving them transport money back to wherever they came from.
So due to this and a lot of other issues, many of the protesters, even before the protest began, had said if any protester is shot dead, that the demand will change to hashtag Tinubu must go. And that's what is happening right now. Many people have changed their demands to not just hashtag end bad governance and end hunger in the country, but hashtag Tinubu must go. I bumped into a funny conversation on social media on X, and someone said, oh, Tinubu might actually resign with everything that's happening. And someone else responded and said, it will be much easier for you to find a polar bear in Mushi Market than for that to happen. Would you agree with that person saying this can never happen? Like, no, if the president has not addressed the nation up until now, that means there's nothing that will actually happen. There is no amount of lamentations by Nigerians that will make him resign and say, I'm no longer capable of being on this seat, or I don't want to do this anymore.
Resignation is not in Tinubu's dictionary. It is only death that can remove Tinubu from office from now till 2027. So nothing can make Tinubu go out of office. And Nigerians don't even want Tinubu to go. I personally want him to remain there till 2027, but he has to remedy what he spoiled. Who else should come to this and do it? Who else should come to do it? I personally want Tinubu to remain there till 2027, but to address what he cost.
When you say what he cost, his ministers have always come out to say it's not his fault. The PDP destroyed the nation, destroyed the economy.
When Jonathan was leaving power in 2015, Nigeria's economy was #1 in Africa. In 2015, Africa, it was APC that messed up the government by bringing Muhammadu Buhari, who everybody knows next to nothing in governance. Because those of us who were old enough, that's in the 80s, know that this guy is zero when it comes to governance.
Okay, you said, right, that Nigeria's economy was #1 in Africa during Jonathan's administration.
Sure.
Right? But then when we're discussing topic 1, you did talk about how even the subsidy that Jonathan wanted to remove then, and Jonathan, even Obasanjo before him, they've always adhered to IMF and World Bank policies. If they were doing that, how come Nigeria's economy was number 1 in Africa, like you said?
Yeah, when Obasanjo came on board in 1999, Obasanjo brought a star in the person of Okonjo-Iweala, who now helped to free Nigeria from debt. There was Paris debt then, which they forgive us was cancelled. That helped our economy to bounce back. That helped our economy to bounce back. Our economy became worse under the Buhari administration because Buhari just wanted APC just wanted power and not governance. They wanted power and not governance. So they imposed the Buhari, who knows next to nothing about governance, and from there it was all the way down for the Nigeria economy. And Tinubu was aware that this guy was not running this economy well. But because of his personal interest, he doesn't want to condemn the Buhari government. He was there when Buhari borrowed the 20 trillion naira for ways and means. He never did anything. For 8 years, Buhari did not grow the economy an inch. Tinubu never said anything. At the end of the day, when he was taking over, he said that he will continue from where Buhari stopped. From the failure of Buhari, that is where he said that he's going to continue. So
he just said he will continue from where Buhari stopped. Of course, he didn't specify in which areas.
Buhari's government was a colossal failure. Buhari's government was a colossal failure. Check the prices of things in the market, check our exchange rate, check the prices of dollar to naira when Buhari inherited the power in 2015, and check what it was in 2023. That shows you that he's a failure. So what Tinubu would have done is to say, I'm going to do an opposite of what Buhari did. And that is what will have saved this country. It's not just about saying, but also doing. If he had told us he would continue from where Buhari stopped and he's doing that, was it not better he told us the truth rather than saying he would do opposite of what Buhari did and then come and continue from where he stopped? So it's not just about what the citizens want to hear the president say, but want to hear him say, mean, and put into action. Perception is very, very important.
Perception in terms of, even if you know you won't do it, just say you will.
Perception.
The people will hold you accountable by your words.
He said that he is coming with a renewed hope. He said that he is coming with a renewed... So that renewed hope is perception. So what Tinubu would have done is to do the exact opposite of what Buhari did. Simple. He would have just...
Recall that it's the same party.
And not the same person. And not the same person. Everybody is entitled to what happened under his own administration.
So we are talking about the women groups who are demanding apology, saying they were scammed by the APC, that they rallied them around to come and collect palliatives. Instead, they made them hold banners with "Say No to Protest" and then took pictures of them. Right? My final question on this particular topic would be, now
must have been given something.
But that's the person coming out to write this lengthy statement and to protest what she called the scam. So even if she was given something and others were not given, would she still come out to write something like this?
She mentioned one Abiola as the person that brought them there. She mentioned one Abiola as the person that brought them there. Abiola and one other person that mobilized them to the stadium. That mobilization cannot come free. It must have come with honorarium, a promise. So those that were behind that movement should go after the Abiola of a person.
And not blame the APC for their woes?
Well, somebody mobilized them. So the person that mobilized them must have been given something to mobilize them. So they didn't go to APC secretariat. Somebody called them. They should hold that person responsible.
And you don't think that this person is just acting on their own authority? You feel like they're acting for 40,000 naira. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, revealed this while briefing correspondent on the outcome of the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by the President at the State House in Abuja. That is to say, they came to a decision at the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by Nigeria's president, saying, oh, let's make 50 kg bag of rice, 40,000 naira for Nigerians for a certain amount of time. He argued that the internal circular, now it was directed to all directors and heads of department, the heads of unit and all staff, entitled Sale of Subsidized Rice to Public Sector. Here's what the document says. As part of the federal government's effort to alleviate the current food crisis in the country and its effect on the general population, I am directed to inform you that 50 kg bags of rice will be sold at the subsidized rate of 40,000 naira only per bag to interested public servants in Abuja. 2. For effective implementation, all interested staff are required to complete a Google form on the OHCSF website to print this form and submit the form to the HR director for endorsement. The payment for and the distribution of the rice will be coordinated by designated officials, while the chairman of the Joint Union Council of the Ministry is required to serve as an observer during the period of the exercise for the purpose of transparency. 3. And further to add that each staff is only entitled to purchase one bag. 2 or more staff may also jointly pay for a bag for sharing amongst themselves. Number 4, please bring the contents of this circular to the attention of staff in your respective departments and units for information and guidance. This was signed by Jayesimi Abimbola Aderunke, the Director of Human Resource Management, and copied the Honorable Minister and the Permanent Secretary. I want to take your attention to number 3 that says, each staff is only entitled to purchase one bag. That's understandable, but then 2 or more staff may also jointly pay for a bag for sharing amongst themselves. Is that to say that even the federal government knows that 40,000 naira may be too much for people to purchase this 50 kg bag of rice, even at the subsidized rate?
Well, for me, if you look at that, and you will see that it is also one of those that it doesn't show transparency. It doesn't show transparency. I use that as a journalist who worked for the Sun newspaper. I use a Sun newspaper correspondent in the 36 states as my network. When a news break, I'll call the correspondent in that state. That's to give me information whether that thing is true or not. So I have made, when I read that they are creating centers, I have called many correspondents in many of the states. Is there any such center in your state? All they were telling me is no. All I've been gotten is that there's no center where rice are being sold for 40,000 naira.
Even now, here in Lagos? Where
is it here in Lagos? If you know, you tell me. And you can now see that that is internal memo, which means it is for the civil servants.
Is it for the civil servants or only for the civil servants?
That's internal memo now.
Yes, that memo, can be released internally to say, okay, for public servants, this is how you go. This is how you can go through getting your own rice.
Somebody in Oyimbo, how can he get his own? Somebody in Andaba, how can he get his own? So this is one of the audio promises, the scams that we are seeing in this country. When the minister announced that rice is being sold for 40,000 naira, the first question that I asked was, where? Where was it being sold? Then I now come back and begin to make calls. The correspondent I know in different states of the country, how much is bag sending in that state? And the list I was told is 82,000 naira. Some were saying 85, some were saying 86, some were saying 84. But the list I got is 82,000 naira. So where are the centers? Because I have made my own calls, I have not received anything positive. And the 20 trucks of rice that they said that they are going to distribute to each of the states in the country. Now, using Lagos State as an example, Lagos State has 20 local governments recognized by the federal government. Now, taking Amuwodofi as an example, Amuwodofi population could be about 1.5 million. Because Amuwodofi is made up of Oriade, LCDA, and Amuwodofi local government. A trainer of rice is 600 bags. How can 1.5 million share 600 bags of rice? They cannot even get a cup each. And these are the efforts that they are making to cushion the effect of hardship, the effect of hunger in the country. So it is so until these people begin to feel what the Nigerian masses are feeling, we are not getting anywhere.
But how can someone who is in power actually feel what Nigerian masses are feeling? These are people who are closer to the seats of power, closer to the national treasury, and in high amounts for the work that many Nigerians claim that they do not do. So when Nigerians come out and cry, we are hungry, people who sleep and wake up with their pantries full of bread, how can they actually say they feel or they know where the shoe is pinching Nigerians?
That's why compassion is one of the qualities of a leader.
And which of Nigeria's past leaders would you say embodied that compassion and empathy?
I can talk of Goodluck Jonathan. I can talk of Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. I can talk of these two people. A leader must be compassionate. A leader must be able to show empathy. A leader must be able to put himself in the shoes of those he is. You cannot tell me that to starve and you are having a banquet. It's wrong. You should be, if you are needing me, you should be able to feel what I am feeling. If you are not feeling what I'm feeling, you are not needing me. So, from Buhari, we begin to have Ahab as president, and Jezebel as first.
We agreed before this started that you would keep it polite and keep it civil. I think you should recant that, because that's a really weighty one. Because why would you call any of our first ladies a Jezebel? That's not. It doesn't have a good connotation.
So, but I can call Ahab.
You know, I wanted to ask you in what context, and when you say Ahab, how and why?
By not showing compassion. By not showing compassion. Nigeria will be burdened and a so-called president will be in another country. It doesn't happen in other countries of the world.
All right, then you're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM, the #1 station that gives you a voice all over the world. You can find us on YouTube. We're live on YouTube, streaming live on YouTube right now. Just type into your search bar VOP 903 FM. Yes, head onto the YouTube app, open the app, type into the search bar VOP 903 FM, and you can get to watch us live right now. In case you want to put faces to the names, I want to put faces to the voices, head on over to YouTube, or even you just want to see what our studio setup looks like, head on over to YouTube right now. We are streaming live to everyone watching on YouTube. I say thank you. I see your comments, keep them coming. I can also see your messages coming in on our WhatsApp platform. Keep them coming. It's 11 minutes before 5 p.m. We'll try to start taking your calls at exactly the 5 p.m. mark. So let's move on to topic number 4. We just talked about the federal government beginning the sale of 50 kg rice for 40,000 naira. And I'll urge you, when you want to call in, right, if you know any center around your vicinity where they said you can buy rice for 40,000 naira, do let me know. Okay, it's time for you to be citizen journalists. All right, topic number 4. Security agencies have uncovered the senator sponsoring hashtag End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest. This is according to Wike. Wike is saying this protest is sponsored, and the security agencies have found the person sponsoring this protest. And many people kept saying, oh, he's talking about Iretikin Gibe because she was sharing, something, maybe food items or water, something to the protesters. But I also recall seeing a video where members of the Nigerian police force were sharing water to protesters. Can we infer from what Wike has said that the NPF is also part of those sponsoring the protest in the country?
Well, the video that you saw Iriti Kingibe sharing food wasn't the protest video. It was at Labour Party house in Abuja. That was about 2 months ago. So this shows you how that's APC works.
Is this Wike is not a member of the APC?
This shows you how APC government works.
But Wike is not a member of the APC.
This shows you how APC ministers work. Now, they also tagged P2B in that video. But that thing happened in Labour Party Secretariat in Abuja. And that was over 2 months ago. They just want to give a dog a bad name in order to hang it. The issue is this: one day, as a Sun correspondent, I opened my email and saw a press statement with the caption, "Boko Haram, Babangida is our sponsor." So the question I asked myself, what will Babangida gain by sponsoring Boko Haram? Babangida was 75 years old then. He has been a president for 8 years. He has been a chief of army staff. When something happens, you ask yourself, what is the motive behind this? So I asked myself, what will be the motive of Babangida to sponsor Boko Haram? So what I did was to delete that thing from my email, because I know that it is the handiwork of enemies who want to give Babangida a bad name. So in this case, what would Iriti Kingibe gain from sponsoring protesters? The answer is nothing. The answer is nothing. So the motive there is not there. Therefore, the argument collapses. And if you read what Wike wrote there, you see how childish it is, that the person will be invited very soon. So if you see somebody that is committing a crime, now you give a date for the person to be invited. So the truth is that hunger is sponsoring this protest. Hardship is the sponsor of this protest. So any other thing apart from these two things, they are just people who are drowning and looking for what to hold their hands on.
Would you say that the current administration does not actually realize that hunger and anger and economic situation in the country is what's driving the protests, rather than accusing certain opposition figures of being the ones riling up the people and heating up the polity?
Well, that is one of the things that APC knows how to do. They are world best in propaganda. They are world best in fake news.
I want to keep pointing out that at this point, this can be said to be an APC thing, right? Because neither
which government is which government?
Yes,
is in
Wike
power?
is a minister under the APC administration,
So
but his utterances are his opinions are his.
I'm talking
just
of
like
the
your opinions are yours.
I'm talking of the APC government. I'm talking of the APC government.
I'm talking about Wike and his utterances.
Those women that were scammed in Abuja said that APC scammed them.
Because the person who mobilized them is a member of the party.
Okay, because the government that Nigerians are protesting is a government under APC.
But the Wike that is speaking, is he speaking for the party?
He's speaking for the party.
He's speaking on his own.
He is speaking for the party.
And you've now pointed out that was even an old video, and you would expect him to know better as a minister. So why don't we call him out individually, the same way people have always said, oh, we should stop calling out the presidency and focus on calling out our governors?
Why?
Because most of the time, we have federal issues and we have issues that are peculiar to the states.
No. You cannot leave a coach of a team and begin to call the captain of a team. The president is the #1 citizen of the country. The buck stops on his table. The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Just like now, everybody is calling Putin of Russia. Everybody's calling Biden. So people should be calling Tinubu. So I cannot leave Tinubu and begin that to call Sanwo-Olu or Alex Otti in the country.
So Tinubu is the one responsible now for what Wike uses his own mouth to say.
Who appointed him?
Did President Tinubu send him to go and say what he said? Did President Tinubu ask him to not make due diligence before believing a video which was from 2 months ago?
Who appointed him? Tinubu said that he's going to assemble a government of national competence. So Wike is one of the national competence that he appointed, he assembled. So whatever Wike do, either good or bad, the president is responsible because he is the one that found him worthy to be in that office. You
feel like whatever any minister in this administration does, a reflection of the president?
Of the president.
All right, let's move on to our final topic. It's 4 minutes before 5 p.m. I want us to start taking calls at exactly the 5 p.m. mark. All right, I don't want to disappoint you. And this is Governor Sanwo-Olu condemning the sponsors of hashtag Igbo Must Go protest. And this is actually a scary one. The Lagos State Governor called on the public to ignore a viral threat on social media X posted by a platform called Lagospedia, demanding Igbo citizens to leave Lagos in the next 1 month. The threat indicated that citizens of all southeastern states must vacate Lagos, and southwestern citizens in southeast states must also vacate those states and return to their own state of origin. Just one question, Mr. Anoske. How did our society deteriorate to the state?
No. You say it's a scary one. Eh? That's how you describe it.
Yes, so
it is. It is an ineffable one. Understand me?
You know that these are things that are capable of heating up the politics. When Bayo Ononuga speaks on Peter Obi and says, oh, he's the one sponsoring protests, he's the one pushing people to protest, we talk about how that can actually lead to issues, and then many people advise Peter Obi to go and sue him, and he did, because if he believes what he's saying is not the truth. Is this not capable of riling up the people and heating up the politics?
This is an ineffable one.
This is posted by a handle that does not represent the Lagos State government but chronicles Lagos State and what happens, which when a foreigner stumbles upon that handle on social media, they will believe, because the handle is called Lagospedia, they will believe that that handle chronicles what Lagos is like, and when they go there they will see that the handler is spewing bigotry and ethnic profiling. For me, it's an ineffable one. It is on serious people that can do such a thing. And why I say it's an ineffable one is because we have heard that over and over. It's not new. It is not new. It's just some idle people somewhere who want to hit up the punditry, because one, it cannot happen. It cannot happen. You talked about historical precedent before now. It cannot happen. This is just a childish act, because one, Lagos State government negotiants know that Igbos are worthy partners in progress. They know that Igbos are worthy partners in progress. Igbos are development agents. Igbos have contributed a lot in the development of Lagos State. If you know how much Lagos State government generates from Anaba International Market, generates from Nadipo Market, all the major markets in Lagos here are dominated by Igbos, and they pay their taxes. So you cannot let such people go. You cannot let such people go, and neither will, first of all, think of the consequences of his action. So I saw it, I said that whoever did that is a joker. All right then, it's time for us to take a short break. It's 1 minute before 5 p.m. I'll be back at the 5 p.m. minute mark. At the 5 p.m. mark to come and take your calls, your opinions, your texts, and let's just hear your suggestions and everything which we have discussed today. My name is Choma Innocent. You have been listening to The Recap. To stay with us, The Recap is still on right here on The Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown Betufole.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and pressure for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Number one super dial. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. You have to know the past to understand the present. So, let's bring you up to speed on important moments in the polity that you might have forgotten.
Politics as normal have been suspended today.
Detailed review, plus analysis of all the local...
Senate moves to recover 6 trillion naira ground rent from property owners, page 5.
And foreign stories that made the headlines during the week.
President Putin accepts defeat. President Putin keeps on coming back for more.
All of the intrigues.
PSF confirmed interest flow in store interim government.
Tension.
The process through which people come into office is far more fundamental, more important than what they do now.
Suspense and political dramas.
This is a shining moment. I commend
the higgy haggers that took center stage just within the week.
You cannot criticize African countries for being undemocratic.
Join the conversation on The Recap every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. only on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Study the past if you want to define the future.
All right, then, welcome back. You're still tuned into the number one station that gives you a voice. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent. I'm your host, and the program you're now tuned into is called The Recap. This is where we discuss and analyze the issues that made the major headlines during the week. And of course, right here in the studios, we have my analyst, Mr. Peter Anaske. He's sitting right across from me in the studios. It's 4 minutes past 5 p.m. I did promise that from 5 p.m. we'll start taking your calls. And of course, it's 5 p.m. So who's my first caller for the day? The number to call is 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Again, it's 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call to be a part of the conversation. On WhatsApp, it's 0817 175 6338 0817 175 6338. Call me up. I want to hear from you. A Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Of course, I want to hear from you. My name is Chioma Innocent. Across the table, I have Mr. Peter Anaske. We've been discussing quite a number of issues. All right, let me reiterate the few things which we've been discussing today so that you can articulate your thoughts well. First up, we spoke about the PDP saying President Tinubu's silence at a time when Nigerians are agitating for an end to bad governance is very worrisome. The opposition party has said the president must address the nation. Number two, we spoke about women groups demanding an apology from the APC in Abuja, saying they were scammed. They were supposed to receive 50 kg palliative bags of rice each. Instead, they were made to hold "Say No to Protest" banners they were taking pictures of, and they were left stranded. We also discussed the federal government beginning the sale of 50 kg rice for 40,000 naira across the nation. And I want to know, is there any center around you where rice is being sold for 40,000 naira that you've witnessed? If you have, do let me know. Of course, we also spoke about Wike saying security agencies have uncovered a senator sponsoring the protest currently ongoing in the country. And finally, we talked about Governor Sanwo-Olu condemning the sponsors of the hashtag Igbo Must Go protest. I would implore you, keep it polite, keep it civil, keep it short, and keep it simple. No insults. Do not use abusive languages. Do not insult any previous caller. Everyone is entitled to their opinions, but make sure you keep it factual. Welcome again to the recap. It's time for your voice to be heard. Guess what? You can also call me up on WhatsApp in case the phone lines are not going through. 0700 903 903 903. You're my first caller for the day. Please set a good precedent. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. What's your name and location, please? Hello, can you hear me? A-Team, welcome, A-Team. Let's hear from you in 60 seconds.
The president not remain silent about the...
Can you hear me, A-Team?
Yeah.
The line is breaking up. Please, I need you to give me a call back. All right, please give me a call back. The line is breaking up, and I can hardly hear you. Thank you so much. For us to have a very interesting conversation and to have a hitch-free conversation, make sure you turn down the volume on your radio set and just go where there'll be network. Okay, 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Turn down the volume on your radio set now. Call me back, 0700 903 903 903. On WhatsApp is 0817 175 6338. If you cannot reach me directly, you can call me up on WhatsApp. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening.
What's your name and location, please?
My name is Honorable Dino.
Honorable Dino? Are you Dino Milai?
No. This one is Dino without Milai.
All right, let's hear from you in a minute.
Thank you very much. I just want to comment, first of all, on what Mr. Nofike said there, that those threatening Igbos in Lagos, that is a laughable matter. I don't think it's a laughable matter. Because we all know how Rwanda genocide started. It just started like that. You know, they started calling each other cockroaches and whatsoever. Before you know it, it snowballed into a genocide. So this Lagos media handle has been, pushing anti-Igbo rhetoric for a very long time now. So for the former vice president to comment on it, and for the governor to debunk and denounce the handle, means that it's a serious matter. Okay, let me draw his attention to what happened a few days ago during the protest. Some area boys, were laying people at Ojo, collecting their phones and saying the Igbo must go, Igbo must go. So things start like that. Before you know it, then it's going into something else. So it's not a laughable matter. That's what I want to say.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Dino. Honorable Dino, your time is exhausted. 30 seconds, please. Let's hear from others.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call to be a part of these conversations. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening, my sister.
Good evening. What's your name and location, please? Hello, are you there? Give me a call back. I definitely want to hear from you. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Call me up. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
Hello, good evening, Choma.
Hi, what's your name and location, please? Turn down the volume on your radio set.
I've done it. My name is Mr. Madi, calling from Medjugorje.
Welcome, Mr. Madi. Let's hear from you in 2 minutes.
Yes, I want to pick on this last issue that you discussed with Peter Osike about the hashtag of Igbo must go. It's a serious issue because if you watch last election, during the gubernatorial election, you hear all these things. From time to time, look at what the Oba of Lagos said about it. From time to time, they are using this thing to, or deal with us and whatever they like. It's not an issue that you should move away. We're supposed to take it seriously. And if you want to take it seriously, we must dig it in to know where these people sending this thing are and know who they are. This thing is a recurring incident. Governor of Lagos State is saying no to it, but he was supporting it during the election.
How?
So
How did he support that? How did he support it?
During the election, for him to win the election, you had it now, you know it now. So it's not a hidden something.
No. You are alleging that the governor is supporting this, even when he has issued a statement to debunk it. All right, I cannot allow you keep saying that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. But let me tell you one thing. I can be supporting something and becoming open to say no to it. It is easy. We know Nigerians at the APC. But they are very, very easy to do all these things.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is this. In this APC government, you see, they are capable to do anything humanly.
Okay.
Because they are not serious. They are not serious to rule this country.
Thank you so much.
They are not serious at all.
Thank you so much for your call. Mr. Peter Anoske has something to say.
What I want to say is that this is not what will bring panic to anybody. Lagos state government negotiations knows that they will gain more by Igbos being here than by Igbos leaving their state.
All right.
So I don't want us to drag this issue. Igbos are partners in progress to the government of Lagos State and the negotiations.
All right then. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Oh dear, give me a call back. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening.
What's your name and location? Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
Okay. I'm Gabriel from Ebola.
What's your name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel, welcome, Gabriel. Let's hear from you in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Quickly, please.
Okay, I want to meet Mr. Peter Anoske first.
He can hear you.
Yes, Wike is a shame.
What did you say?
To this country. Wike is a failure to the country.
Is a what?
You know how a minister should act. Concerning King Libe, you should know how what. And for him to bring such videos, the woman should sue Wike himself. And put his...
You're advising Senator Kingibe to sue the Minister of the FCT?
Exactly. You should go ahead and do that.
Okay. Thank you.
And then concerning the Igbo issue, just like Mr. Peter Anoske said, I side with him. Without the Igbos in any place or any nation or any country, especially in Lagos, economic value will not stand. So that's my stance with it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your call. 0700 903 903 903. I can see your comments on YouTube. Keep them coming. To everyone watching, I say thank you. I can also see your messages coming in on WhatsApp. Do keep them coming. The WhatsApp number to send a message to is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. You can also call me up on WhatsApp. I definitely want to hear from you. This is the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hello. Please turn down the volume on your radio set. Come on.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name? All right, give me a call back. 0700 903 903 903. For us to have a seamless and hitch-free conversation, it is imperative that you turn down the volume on your radio set before you call in. All right? Please do that for the betterment of both of us. Thank you. 0700 903 903 903. We've discussed quite a number of issues. Which one do you want to talk about? Remember to keep it polite, keep it civil, keep it short, and keep it simple. Welcome to the recap. Oh dear, I lost that call. Give me a call back. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening, Choma. This is Obi calling from Ikeja.
Welcome, Obi. Let's hear from you in 2 minutes.
I know Chika agree to.
He can hear you.
This issue of Igbo must go. For me, I agree with Anosika. Igbophobism, Chioma, is a disease caused by Okeka, envy. You understand? And when you feel that somebody is better than you, you don't need to be envious. What you need to do, go to the person and go and learn from him or her. because the hand can never cover the moon, no matter what you want to do. Nobody can do anything to the Igbos.
Thank you so much for your call. I like that you kept it short and simple, and of course straight to the point. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. All right, give me a call back. You can also call me up on WhatsApp, okay, if the phone lines are not connecting. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. What's your name and location, please? Good evening.
I am from Africa.
All right, welcome. Let's hear from you in a few minutes. Are you there?
Can drive somebody away from where he or she resides.
Okay.
According to the Constitution, everybody has right to reside anywhere he or she lies in Nigeria. So there is no point anybody saying a particular set of people to leave their state. There should be nothing like that. They are all Nigerians. So the Igbos living in Nigeria, they have their right. In fact, it is a right. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Give me a call back. I definitely want to hear from you. You're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. You have something to say, Mr. Anoske?
Most important thing that we are good neighbors. We are not bad neighbors. Igbos are good neighbors anywhere they are. They are development agents. Nobody throws away an asset.
Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Are you there? I've picked your call. Good evening. Give me a call back. I can hear nothing from you. Remember, you can call me up on WhatsApp if the phone lines are not connecting. Okay? The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
What's your name and location, please?
This is Oladimeji from Ilekpo.
Welcome, Oladimeji, calling all the way from Ilekpo. Let's hear from you.
Good evening, sir.
He can hear you.
I want to talk about the Igbo must go.
Okay.
I think, like Mr. Nosike said, it's a big joke. It's laughable. Because Igbo people are like out of Lagos. Because they're like 90% of the economic of Lagos. So how do you expect somebody like that to bracket your face?
By what parameters did you measure 90%?
See, every corner, every area of Lagos, there's no way you be not seeing Igbo. Is it the marketplace? Okay, now, if we talk about the market, Igbo dominates 90% of the Lagos market. So how do you expect people like that generate like 70% or 80% of the income of Lagos to vacate your state? That cannot be possible.
Okay.
So I think the governor that debunked the rumor to work on the people bringing that kind of.
You feel they should be prosecuted?
Out. Yes. So that kind of work can bring kind of problem. So and this date that they already fixed that the 20th of August they will start protesting against the Igbo. So they should work on it. So that it will not be like these other this protest that is going on, that they've already marked the fixed the date and the president did not work on it until the thing takes place. So that's my answer.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your call, Oladimeji, for calling all the way from Ilekpo. 0700 903 903 903 on WhatsApp. It's 0817 175 6338. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My name is Demian from Isheri.
This is who?
Demian from Isheri.
Okay, let's hear from you in a minute, please.
Yes, I want to talk about the president being silent.
Okay.
Because he already said that during the protest he always have time to read his paper. So he being silent is not something new. For me, I think he just finds time to read his papers, and he's being busy with his papers right now.
With which papers?
One thing, and the other thing. The second thing. Hello?
I can hear you. What papers are you talking about?
Ma'am?
You say that the president always finds time to read his papers. Isn't that what you said?
Yes, there's the president.
What papers are you talking about, and how does that relate with his silence in the face of the agitation currently ongoing in the country?
And you know, when the protest was about when they were talking about the protest, he said during protest he will find time to read. He will have enough time to read his papers. So to me, I think that is what he's doing right now. That is why he did not respond to anybody.
Okay.
Yes. And about the Igbos leaving Lagos, I think the government should do more by just debunking it. It should find those that are responsible for that media, that what is the name of this thing?
Yeah, the Twitter handle that posted it.
Yes, that Twitter handle. It should do more by just, it should not just debunk it, but should do something serious about it, because this will cause division, and if care is not taken, it will cause more. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your call. 0700 903 903 903, 21 minutes past 5 p.m. right here on the number one station that gives you a voice. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent. I am your host, and we'll be taking this all the way till 6 p.m. The program started at 4 and it's going all the way till 6. So call me up. I definitely want to hear from you. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Please turn down the volume of your radio set.
Hello.
What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Mazi Chijoke from Second State, Okafa.
Welcome, Mazi. You have 1 minute.
Yes, the question I want to ask the Yorubas, what has the Igbos done to them?
Why do you ask such question?
Number two, the silence the president is keeping is not necessary, it's not good. And is he waiting until when he hears fellow Nigerians, then he will not speak? That's my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. I can see your comments coming in on YouTube. Do keep them coming. I surely appreciate it. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
What's your name and location, please?
I'm Tyler. I'm calling from Oka.
Welcome. Let's hear from you in a minute, please.
Thank you. I don't know what people are expecting the president to come and speak and address to the nation. I will be surprised if anything change in the country, whether now or later under this government. Because I needed to get prepared. The 35,000 naira he promised to pay for 6 months. I don't know if he ever paid it. So there is nothing he will come and tell us that will be reasonable or will be taken serious, because they have always been telling us lies.
So you feel there is no need for the president coming to address the nation at this critical time?
What we need now is that it's either he reverse this. In fact, needless, because the question that should have been asked is that what should the nation not protest for, from A to Z, of all the happenings in Nigeria? There is nothing you can point to that is favorable to any person, to the common people. So the question is, instead of asking that, what do we need, or what are we demanding? It should have been what has he done? You get it? I don't know if you are getting me.
I'm with you.
That is to say that, look, if we continue for the next 4 years, things will get worse. And I don't believe in this government resigning, just as Mr. Peter has said. And another thing is, if this government is allowed these 4 years, I bet you it will also continue the next 8 years. Not forget that if people are saying that he won the election, he should come and address the people, we voted for him. That is not true. He never won the election.
Okay.
What is happening in Venezuela today, at least what is happening in Venezuela today, that should have been the time this protest was started.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for your call, all right? Your time is time up. Thank you so much for your call. 0700 903 903 903. I urge you to keep it factual. All right. If the Electoral Commission announced that the incumbent president won the election, who are you and I to say he did it? Okay. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Before you call up, please turn down the volume on your radio set. All right. 0700 903 903 903. I'm begging, please turn down the volume on your radio set. The conversation will be so much better and so much smoother when that is done. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
What's your name and location, please?
This is Ikan calling you from Isola Kingdom.
Welcome, Ikan from Isola Kingdom.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear from you, Ikan.
Yeah, I want to be very, very serious about this issue of Igbo must go. And I don't want anybody to take it with a pinch of salt. It's a very, very serious issue. Now, what guarantee you are sitting in that studio guarantee the Igbo and non-Igbo that are here in Lagos that after that 1 month, something terrible might not happen? We shouldn't just wave it out like that. You remember what Fashola did when he deported some member of people to River Niger? Have you forgotten that? This is how it started. You remember last year when the Oba of Lagos was saying any Igbo that will not vote for this particular party will go and throw them in Lagoon. And in that 2023, you know what happened? I saw what happened to a man with his wife, with a pregnant woman in Ajawi, when I wanted to go and vote. He was beating the rich water, his stew and everything was done. I think I reported this same matter here in the same station. So we shouldn't just say, no, nothing will happen. This has been saying. This is how something like this started, and before you know, he has turned to another thing. And that's for APC. You know they are liars. They came to lying deceit. How can you target some people to go and protest that they don't want these people to protest? And this side are going to give them rights. And at the end of it all, the rights they were not giving, money were not given. What kind of a government is that? The people are expecting the Tinubu to come and talk to Nigeria. Remember what Agbabio said. They are still eating. They have not finished their food, so let them continue to eat. Maybe by this time next year they will finish eating their food. Maybe that way they will come and talk to Nigeria.
Okay.
So you know what he said. He said he used his money to get what he wants. And who is he going to be accounted for? Because he used his money. So that issue of Igbo should be very, very, very thoroughly investigated and then look into it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your call, Ikan from Isolo Kingdom. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. We are discussing the issues that made major headlines during the week right here on the recap. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. What's your name and location, please? Are you there? What's your name and location, please? Give me a call back. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Turn off your radio set and then give me a call back. 0700 903 903 903. I can see your messages on WhatsApp. Keep them coming. Okay, I definitely want to hear from you, and your comments on YouTube, to keep them coming as well. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
What's your name and location, please?
My name is Peter.
Welcome, Peter. Let's hear from you quickly.
Please, what I want to say is that people must go. I think I want to talk. I know that people must talk anything because of protest. Then what I have to say is this Igbo must grow, have to be taken seriously. Already Igbo is China before. I want to go before. Then this is maybe I can say that's opportunity. But then because Mr. President is from this tribe, and there is the tribe that and the other HSB out of Nigeria.
Okay.
So it's something that is supposed to take serious. Even to the world. And then they are
people out of Nigeria. So it's not something to sit under carpet because overnight they can start to operation. Nobody can know.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
my own take for this issue.
Thank you so much for your call. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Can you hear me? All right. Please hold on. All right. Please hold on. I'll take your call in a very short minute. Please do hold on. I'll take your call in a very short minute. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Are you there? Hello? All right, give me a call back. I definitely want to hear from you. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening.
What's your name and location, please?
I want to call. This was going through.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, all right. It's much better now. Please, 1 minute.
I am saying that the WhatsApp call has not been connecting. Something must be wrong from your end.
I'm so sorry about that, but I just took your call on WhatsApp. So let's go straight to the point. All right. Thank you so much.
I've been calling since.
I'm so sorry about that.
Letting you know that. All right. So we the ministers here appointed and code of who President Tinubu.
Give me a call back 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello.
What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, my name is Mr. S. Michael.
Welcome, Michael Esse. Let's hear from you in a short minute, okay?
Yeah, I want to say something concerning the Igbo monsoon. I want to assure Nigerians that the Igbos too are always ready to go. So that is why we are coming for the African nation. So Mr. Tinubu, it is time and also free our leader, the president of Nnamdi Kanu, so that we can go to the African nation.
0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Call me up. We seem to be experiencing network situation recently, but that has been resolved. So your WhatsApp calls can now go through. Okay, so give me a call. I definitely want to hear from you. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello.
What's your name and location, please?
Hello.
Call me back, all right? Thank you so much for holding on. Good evening.
Hello, Chama.
Hi, I can hear you. Thank you for holding on.
Okay. I said this is Joe.
Welcome, Joe. Let's hear from you quickly.
The ministers, beginning from Wike and others, they are the reflection of the president himself. So it is to show you the kind of people he's appointing, and they are not working well for him, and he's keeping them in the office. So that's to show that's a reflection of who the president is. Now, I want to say something, please, quickly. It is only in Nigeria, because where we are now is under this protest and all that about hunger, head hunger, whatever protest. Only in this country can a person use 1,000 worth of the currency of the country of this country to eat. Every other country, you can't use 1,000 pounds to eat. Even in Cotonou, you can't use 1,000 francs CFA to eat. So if you can spend about 2,000 worth of naira to eat, just to eat a plate of food, that's to show people the state where we are. You have jumped from 1 naira of your currency to 1,000 naira worth of your currency. It's only in Nigeria that this happens. So Nigerians should understand the reason why this end hunger protest is ongoing. And the president should begin to reverse things so that the country can move forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. What's your name and location, please? Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Thank you for holding on.
Mr. Anderson, good evening, sir.
He can hear you.
Okay, on this Igbo issue, I'm from those states. I mean, Benin to be precise. Even though I'm a fan of the Igbos. You see, what Peter Anderson said, he may be correct, but the thing is more that is beyond the way you look at it. You see, when the governor, the deputy governor of Lagos State, the president of...
Hello, are you there? You might have to give me a call back. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. What's your name and location, please?
I'm Mr. Sam from Nigeria City.
Welcome. Let's hear from you in a few short minutes.
Yes. I want to ask whether this protest is anything about the protest. What they say is that they don't want to belong to the protest. Why now Yoruba people are saying, or the people calling for Igbo to live for the Yoruba land? Is it anything that Igbo did that is bringing them? That is my question. And that is how the former governor, the man carry our people. Don't pick at around 2 o'clock in the office. It's the same thing. But look at what is going on now. If they want to go to grow, they should say it in a manner way.
All right.
Let us go and be on our own.
Thank you.
Let us be a slave in this country.
Thank you.
And what somebody wants to say, they will say it, he cannot say. Look.
Thank you so much for your call. 0700 903 903 903. Thank you for holding on. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Chama. Good evening.
What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, this Zerenadi calling from Spain.
All right, Zerenadi, let's hear from you in a few short minutes.
Mr. Masika, I greet you, my brother.
He can hear you.
Okay. Chama, well, Mr. Anasika said the other day, Nigeria is one people already, that's very easy to govern. Because like now, these people are just begging the president not to be silent, to come and talk to us. We don't need the president in this part of the world. We don't need a president to. The president even be begging to come out and talk to the people. People will just say no. This is where they just provoke police. But now look at what is in Nigeria is contrary. Police are provoking people, using tools at times to provoke people for people to react. Here is, you see this thing with helmets, just try to protect themselves. They are protesting. Police will just even begging them to take it easy. But in Nigeria, because presidents now have promised, all the promise have nobody, and they haven't made even a one. That is why it's not, he don't know anything to say. So they should not expect him. They should keep on. If any life is lost, they should take it to the person will live. That is how it's done everywhere. You see, that is how. Let me just round up, he said a few minutes. On Igbo, this thing, Igbo to live in Lagos. I don't know why it make me sick when people just come and they be cowardly, be crying for power. They say, look at like this thing. Igbos, Nigeria is for everybody. You are free to live anywhere. Don't be afraid. You are a human being. People die only once. Not that somebody will threaten you. These people are like rain or mockery. These people they just create a confusion in this thing for people to react. Okay. Once they react, it made them people just be able to every month you just go to his bank at they'll add money to his account. That is how they Oba have said it.
Thank
so they
you,
should not be afraid. And if they fight them back. That is how it's done. Okay, my brothers, have a great day.
Thank you so much for your call. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, my sister. This is great to calling from Nigeria.
Welcome. Let's hear from you in a few short minutes.
Yeah, my reaction is this, my sister. I say we should not take it serious. Igbo must go. I see that old enough to remember what happened in the 90s in Rwanda. You know what goes. You know how it started and you know how it goes. You should not say we should not take it serious. This has been started. This has been for long. Right from above Lagos to Fashola to even these present governors. During the time of election, during the time of governorship election, even my own son now, as I'm talking to you, the first time voter in Lagos State, the guy was a kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I just tried to manage myself and struggling out of Nigeria. The guy was so amazed because of that election. The first time voter, you know what it is? They frustrated him. They did everything to him, and now you're telling me, let us leave it. Let us leave it, my brother. We should wake up. But what I want to ask you, this investment in Lagos is not a wrong investment. It's not wrong investment.
All right. Any Nigerian can invest in any area of the country they want. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for your call. 0700 903 903 903. Thank you for holding on. Good evening.
Hello.
Good.
Can you hear me? Good evening.
I'm hearing you.
Yes, I can hear you, but please reduce the volume on your radio set or turn it off. Welcome to the conversation. Let's hear from you.
Are you with me?
I'm with you.
From Ago.
Okay, let's hear from you.
I think, Mr. Chikezi, I'm calling from Ago.
Welcome, Mr. Chikezi. Let's hear from you.
Okay, thank you very much. I thank my brother, Mr. Nosike, being there with. You see, this issue of Igbo must go, Igbo go. I want to remind my brother that this is not the. They have been saying this thing. But for us, we are not going anywhere because Nigeria belongs to each and every one of us. No matter whatever thing they are saying. Just like the last speaker said, Red Omokore has been attacking Igbos from every angle. So this one said now is not a new one. Red Omokore know that that's what he can do against Igbos. He only just stays wherever he is. Back. That's all. Likewise, other people here, this statement against Igbos, they can't do anything.
Thank you.
My own belief. And I attack my brother being there, saying the same thing. When concern this rice is a scam. There's no way they did not plant any rice. And they have no right to harvest. Say what they did not have. So that is my own conclusion.
Thank you so much. We can take one more call and then we'll call it a day. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. You're my final caller for the day.
Yeah, good evening, Choma.
Welcome. What's your name and location?
You see Nemeka from Ejubo.
At least we say it for the people that don't know. Abi, welcome, Nemeka. You're my final caller for the day.
All right, then. Thank you for the audience. Our Ghana speaker, they greet you. Well done, brother. Well done. Choma, there is a proverb in our land that says that Ebe Belu Ugo Belu. Because he the
what does that mean? Please translate.
Let me introduce it to English for the benefit of listeners. In the land of dead, they say let the eagle live.
This your translation too long. Mr. Noske wants to translate it for you. Mr. Noske, please just give us a translation.
Live and let live.
All right.
We'll do it for you later.
No problem.
Let me
Nemeka, please, let's hear your opinion.
Because of time. Let me finish my point. Because of time.
Now.
Listen. About this issue, Lagos governor himself have to take this issue serious. You know, if this issue are called before the election time and during the election, we ignore it. You can me. Not that say we can ignore everything all the time. If you put governance in place in this time around to check inside those group and get them out, so that they will tell us what they want. You can me. Because what they are calling for is what everybody is looking for. But it will not come in a violent way. It could not come in a violent way because number one is this: you can't eat your cake and have it back. You can't eat your cake and have it back.
All right, and they make.
But the fact that if those in this side, the far west, are 10, it's only 2% are making that kind of statement. You understand me?
Yeah.
But we will not take them for granted.
Thank you.
Governor of Lagos have to take serious issue into this. As he says he's looking for them. We want to know those people. Let them come and talk to us.
Okay.
That one apart. On the other side of the demonstration and issue, I say, Baba, any father who is afraid to confront the children when agitating, complaining about hardship in the house, hungry in the house, and that father went inside room and locked himself, that father should wash himself. You have to talk to your children.
Thank you.
You have to talk to them.
Thank you, Nemeka.
So that's my contribution. God bless you, my.
Thank you so much for your call. All right, you've been on hold for a while. I just have to take your call. Thank you so much for holding on.
Hey, no problem, Choma. So I'm calling back. This is for if I'm hold of it. So I'm talking about. I want to talk about the Igbo issue. I'm a Benin man, so I'm not from Igbo land, but I'm a good fan of them. You see, this Igbo thing, I was born I spent over close to 50 years in Lagos now. So I know all these things they're talking about. Is it true that the Yorubas kind of in a way? I don't know if it's evidence or if it's jealousy. Look at what happened recently about that tweet in the Lagos whatever platform. You see, the governor of Lagos State, the present governor of Lagos State, would have taken a very decisive action on that person. It will show that yeah, this man is in for it. It's like you have to stop this kind of tribalism.
Are you saying the statement he has issued is not enough?
It's not strong enough. Okay, what is the punishment that they give that person? The person
what do you want the governor to do?
They would use that person as a scapegoat.
You want them to prosecute the person?
Yes, something like that.
All right.
So that it will curtail the issue of somebody else doing it next time. So that we give that signal, we give that warning to stop that kind of thing. Because it kind of. And again, on this present issue, you see, this silence or this not talking about what's going on shows how insensitive the president is. Show the level of that means he's not feeling us as the masses now. And it's not called for. It's not called for. If he knows that really we voted him into power and he really merited being that power, he wouldn't have been doing like this now. Somebody that everybody collectively put there in the power that please come and help us to manage our country cannot behave like this now.
I have to let you go at this point because of our time. All right? But I must thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. That's all the calls we can take on the program today. You're still listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's time for me to take your comments on YouTube and your messages on our WhatsApp platform. And of course, per usual, we're beginning from YouTube. Let me take your comment on YouTube. We have Gabriel Opinga, okay? Obina Godwin Akpa, wow, that's awesome. Let's finish this government 4 years and see. Remember, we voted him. God is great, says Abuja Gen Z youth should go out to protest tomorrow. Okay, we also have Olutimio Joe saying, let all of us go out tomorrow Sunday to protest and conduct our Sunday services on the protest ground. Salvation First Assembly says, why are they begging him to talk? Edmond's Life says, a deceiver must find someone to deceive. He will borrow more money and crash all the sectors. Showore to take over. We need someone with a progressive mindset. And you believe Showore is the right person. Odili Moloku says, Augusta, if Tinubu is to be a Muslim northerner, the North will not protest. Are you sure about that? Edmond's Life says, leaders are rewarded for failure. How can a youth look up to these leaders and believe in education, their certificate, or a bright future? Stephen Oni says, please, where is our president? Stephen, if you ask me, now who I go ask? Okay, Chineke says, sorry for those who call themselves Nigerians. Unamumu go remain as long as you believe in Nigeria. Damini says, again, he's not an APC minister, he's Nigeria's minister. Great Mercy says, APC is known for propaganda. User says, hate speech. Your guys just called the first lady of the country a Jezebel. He says, all the first ladies, and of course I did caution him. Julius Oyeleye says, there's no known place where 50 kg of rice is selling for 40k in Nigeria. Damini says, please, when you bring people to speak on matters as sensitive as this, bring people who are pragmatic and patriotic. This man is sentimental. Gideon Chuk said, not at all. Focus Ambition Marcy Joe says, this woman, hear out what this man is saying. Damini says he's not saying anything reasonable. Egoma says, please ma, allow this man to express himself without distraction. Great Mercy asks, how is he sentimental? Focus Ambition Marcy Joe says, if Wike is the minister of Nigeria, which party appoint him as minister? APC party led by Tinubu. So stop defending Wike. You woman presenter, allow the man to say things as it is. Focus Ambition. Thank you. Ada Zion Ezukama says, really, yet they are destroying properties belonging to Igbos. Emeka Raphael says, at Damini, what Mr. Anosike is communicating reflects our current reality. There is nothing sentimental here. Ada Zion Ezukama says, Sonwolu, too little too late. You said nothing when Igbos were attacked and some killed during the last elections. Anybody playing down threats against Igbo in Lagos is in denial. Ogobush all. It's high time Igbo started taking their investment home and imbibe the Igbo spirit of, I believe this is Akure Ulo. Ada Zion says, host, please get real. Did you hear Governor Sanwo-Olu rebuke those who threatened Igbos during the elections? Ola Adewale says, what has the governor done to curb the Babanla nonsense in Lagos in the past, Miss Chioma? Ada Zion is asking, what constitution do we have? Ajayi Adeniyi says, nothing will happen to the Igbos in Lagos. And if you want them to leave, tell your president to allow them stand on their own. The Igbos go nowhere. That's from Ajayi Adeniyi. Ada Zion says, speak for yourself. Is it today the slaughtering of Igbos began? Joel O says, if you give Igbos Biafra, I assure you they will go. Ada Zion asks, why were Jews slaughtered in Europe during the Holocaust? It was envy. Is history not repeating itself against Igbos in Lagos, Nigeria? Ola Adewale says, those fermenting troubles in Lagos are not even from Eko, Abi. Ajayi Adeniyi says, all these Onija Kuja politicians in Lagos Fidelis Ogbewe says, good evening. Lizzie Akman says, the violence calls for Tinubu must go. Okay, thank you for your comments on YouTube. We're heading on over to WhatsApp. And on WhatsApp, we have Chinemere from Agbara who says, they have started lying to Nigerians again as usual. They've started with their rice. Nigerian government should understand that they cannot lie to Nigerian citizens because before now, Nigerians have known the truth. Oh, good evening from Adeyemi Kamaru from Satellite Town, Lagos. It is injustice for anyone to blame the Tinubu administration for the current economic hardship because there is no other alternative than the removal of fuel subsidy. After all, Nigeria cannot even afford to pay the subsidy. Everything in Nigeria in the last 8 years is done on debt. No country will survive with such economic policy. If the right decision is not put in place because Nigeria is not exceptional, such situation has happened in Uganda, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, and Germany. We hope not. Joma, there is nowhere APC is selling rice, not to talk about 40K. All now continuous propaganda. I beg, where's the rice pyramid Buhari and Emefiele launched with much fanfare in Abuja? APC under Buhari destroyed Nigeria. Unfortunately, Tinubu can't mend it. Imagine people protesting over hunger, not even for poor infrastructure. Until the president ends the taking over of people's lands and killing of farmers by herdsmen, hunger will not end when borders were opened. Tinubu keeping quiet over protests is unfortunate. People are dying, I beg. Soldiers should face terrorism and leave protesters to police. As for the hate for Igbos, no be today. Bayo Ononuga, Reno Omokri, ETC Gotaya, Free Nnamdi Kanu, Chijoke from Isolo. APC government has succeeded in putting Nigerians in a confused state in such a way that the average citizen are gradually sliding to beggars. I just pray he realizes in time and retract fast because it is no longer funny out there. Chika Bende from Trade Fair in Lagos. Good afternoon, Sister Choma and your guest. My name is Chinedu from Alaba International. The organizers of the ongoing protest made a mistake by announcing the date. APC government are sharing 10,000 each to their members at Ojo LGA yesterday. Majority of them will come out tomorrow and start complaining. When we are tired of this government, our actions will speak louder than what we are doing now as a protest. Nigeria cannot move forward until we go on our separate ways. Anyone that's still encouraging for one Nigeria is deceiving him or herself. The earlier we believe this, the best for all of us. Good evening, Chioma. Aren't the APC government feel embarrassed always for all the propaganda? Firstly, it was fake bishops. Then, Oro, the first lady planted vegetable crops in less than 3 weeks. She harvested her vegetables. Vegetables grow fast, don't they, Mr. Noske? Answer me now.
Well, they have GMOs now.
Audio promises of donations of lawmakers, December salary to Kaduna bomb victims. Till date, nothing for the victims. CNG buses, NNPC to refine crude oil in December since last year. No show till date. Rice palliative, Lagos State promises of food canteen in 1,500 locations, etc. They are good at recruiting shoe shiners. He's using your words. Nigerians are now wiser, except for a few gullible people. Ezekiel from Ejigbo. Igbos are one of the few developers of Lagos. But I wouldn't blame those blowing the trumpet for Igbos to go, since the so-called Igbos left their land undeveloped to develop another person's land. Peter from Osolo. The silence of the president is staged because the protest he knows is not a threat. NLC did the same several times. Thank you, Peter from Osolo. Good evening, my good and wonderful presenter and your guest. Nigeria is a funny country where some citizens will tell Igbos to go. As an Igbo leader went to government and asked them no, and they arrested him for years for asking for such. Very unfortunate and wonderful country. Chakwas from Ojo Road. Please tell those asking Igbos to go that one of their kinsmen is currently signing some papers with my neighbor as we speak. You cannot continue selling your houses and land to the Igbos and still ask them to leave Lagos. It's not possible. Peter Igboneku Oshodi. A very great day to you all. You're doing a really great job. I appreciate the intelligence analysis of your analysts. Honestly, as a Yoruba man by tribe, I'm ashamed. Imagine someone that said APC would make Nigeria better and promised a renewed hope. Here we are. It's absolutely shameful. My name is Olamide from Ajasa Command in Lagos. Hello, Chioma. You're doing a good job. These miscreants who are propagating ethnicity amongst Nigerians to cover up incompetence of their paymaster, they should rather stop this rubbish. Are the Igbos the cause of the hunger in the land? Taiwo from Ejigbo. My take and belief about Tinubu's silence is as a result of the fear that there will be a lot of incoherence that will be associated with the expected addresses. Come on. The handlers have been circumspect to avoid the Joe Biden phenomenon during his debate with Trump. That is their fear, short and simple. Eugene Mary from Isheri. Eugene Mary, they find trouble. Mr. Anosike said, push Nigerians to the wall instead of fighting back, they will continue digging. But when people were about to protest, he said he's not in support, that he has achieved its aim if it doesn't hold. Really? When ethnic extremists said Igbo must go yesterday, he said it's the handwork of miscreants and those who don't mean well for Lagos. But those who mean well, like Remi Tinubu Oba of Lagos, Oluomo, Bayo Ononuga, have made dangerous utterance and things happened. If Atiku did not speak out, would Sanwo-Olu do eye service? During the election, the Sanwo-Olu or Tinubu condemns xenophobic utterances by their campaign team. Yesterday, a Yoruba woman almost got beaten up because street urchins and bandits of Lagos thought she was Igbo. Mr. Anosuke unbothered the threat is childish. Oga, stay there and fold your arms. Mind your language. Good evening, Chama. Kano has been a drama zone since the protest started. First, it was the looting incident, and now some people are reportedly seen flying Russian flags after Kano residents defied curfew. Obviously, this isn't a coincidence, but it's looking more like a politically motivated act to disrupt the protest from Hillary. This Igbo must be taken serious, because when Oluomo talked about Mama Chukwudi during last year's election, the Lagos State said it was the Lagos State Police and state government said it was joking. Destiny for Mushin. This is okay. The sack of NNPCL boss is long overdue. He should go ASAP. Pastor ND from Fadei. Bring Igbo must go promoters to justice, says Sonwolu. Abeg, who is he referring to? We told him to bring them to justice. Who is he shifting the responsibility to? Maybe Tinubu or myself. Good evening. My take is that people will not force the president to address the nation. He can do that if he wishes. Agbafo from Sulere. Good evening, Mr. Anoske. Those who were inviting violence at the market square and around Lagos, threatening the people not to protest. Okay, it is imperative that the government fishes out those bigots racist. Chama, I agree to you. I'm Peter Anoske. My name is Eze from Ojo. Chama, so far the Oba of Lagos is also having the same mind. They can carry out their evil plan without listening from the governor, because these people threatening Igbos have their eyes to take over. Okay, thank you for your messages. That's all the messages I can take. That is all the messages I can take. I think I'll just take two more because of our time. The issue of bad governance includes state and local government, because if they do their part, we won't be going through this. The issue of rights from federal government to state are being kept by state government towards election or whatever reason. Otta from USA. Okay, Rodriguez from Philippines says, one greeting and I love you guys. It's shameful to hear that the Nigerian government is distributing rice instead of reducing import duties. Nigerian youth will not become forever, and check statistics. Poor governance gives rise to terrorism, and 120 million Nigerian youths cannot be silent. Okay, good evening, Shoma. I support Ohane is a warning those Lagospedia operators. Enough is enough. Let Igbo stand and defend themselves and their properties. Nigerian constitution allows everyone to live in any part of the country they want to. Tinubu cannot come and say anything. He has nothing to say. Mayor from Lagos. How can one remove the dots on the skins of a tiger? It has come to stay. Kingsley from Ikeja. Good evening. I'm Chinoso. Anthony Tinubu is there. Open my mouth to go here. Mr. Anoske, we have just 1 minute to go. So in 30 seconds, I want to have your concluding thoughts.
Well, I say that Igbo should not panic over the Igbo must go stuff. Our constitution says that we have the right to live in any part of the country that we find ourselves and do our legitimate business. Igbos are good neighbors everywhere they are, because they are development agencies. Lagos will lose more than what they will gain if Igbos go. So this view is not the view of average negotiation. These are just few miscreants trying to make
with the
noise.
governor coming out to give a statement to debunk this, would you expect him to go ahead, find the people who are responsible for that handle and have them prosecuted, in order to ensure that not just Igbos but all Nigerians can see that not only does the government not have a hand in it, but the government does not entertain ethnic profiling and tribalism?
Well, that's what the governor and the security agencies should do. They should try and find out those who are fanning this ember of disunity. But Igbo shouldn't panic. There's no cause for alarm. Those people don't have the capacity to do this.
All right, then 2 minutes before 6 p.m. we have to go. The 6 p.m. news comes up shortly. Mr. Peter Anoske, I must thank you for joining me today. And I must thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in on your radio frequency. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your WhatsApp messages. As always, I will implore you to do the best you can to make sure Nigeria is better in your own little way. You can find us on social media at VOP903FM. Mr. Peter Anoske is at Peter Anoske77 on Instagram, and for me it's at _ the radio girl. Have a good evening, and of course always do your best to be a very good ambassador of Nigeria. 6 p.m. news comes up shortly.